Yep. All right, we're back. Personal healthcare reform talk show on Pegasus Net Waves, taking your health to a higher level. And today, this would normally be the super scary Halloween show, but Halloween's already gone. The candy, however, has not left because it's on your side right now, probably. If you had too much, if you did, guess what? Come see me. I'll work it off of you. But today is going to be all about the ACA and the election, because we've had super scary stuff going on for the past 8 years, if you haven't noticed. If you haven't noticed from the news and media and everything else, rates on average are going up 25%, quote unquote. Yeah, that's on average. That means there's a lot of them that are going up 80%, 110%. So we're going to talk about that and how to reduce those costs for yourself considerably with my guest coming on, which is going to be Mike Chapman. He's been on here multiple times. You've heard from him. And how many times has he been wrong when you've listened in? None so far. So you might want to listen up, especially on this one, because there's an election coming up. Kind of important. So before we get into all that, go check out ClintFuquay.com, ClintsPrograms.com, PersonalHealthCareReform.com. Everything that we're going to be talking about on here, you'll find it on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Google+, LinkedIn. Of course, tons of video stuff on YouTube. Got over 200 videos on there. You might want to check them out. Spreaker for all the old shows. Same thing for SoundCloud. IdeaFit. You see all my old stuff on there from the training industry. For articles, Men's Fitness. Been there twice. I'll be in there again. Featured expert, by the way. Also, Medical Daily. Been in there a few times, and quite a few other publications. I've also got Rocks Digital. I do some blogging for them. I'll start doing a lot more blogging for those guys. And then Offbeat Business Magazine. I'm in there every month. Full article talking about business and business health and everything else to help keep you healthy so you can do your business and do it well. And, of course, Living the Dream Magazine. You'll see me back in there starting in January. For the hashtags, because you got to have hashtags if you're going to be online. Hashtag LiveLean 2016. That's going to be changing pretty soon, won't it? And hashtag Make America Healthy Again. That one's going to stick around for a while. If you don't get the connotation on that, well, you should. And then, of course, all the great people helping support the show. MedCall Pro, I'll have them on here. Once again, their system for the individual is absolutely fantastic. ER doctor on the phone automatically. They've got all kinds of other stuff you can roll into that. Dental, vision, things of that nature. So they've really upgraded what they do for you as an alternative option, which we'll be talking more about today. Ulta Labs, if you need to go get labs done, you don't have insurance, these guys, they have every lab known to man, 20 to 80% off. They're on specials every month for different stuff. You can't beat it. In fact, you almost can't beat it even going to see your doctor most of the time. So I'm talking like $1,200 worth of testing for $300, okay? So if you want to know what's going on with your health, that's the best way to know about it. Check them out. They're on ClintFuquay.com. Everly Well. They've got they have about 13 tests out there. They've got men's health, women's health, fertility testing, food sensitivity testing, all in the comfort of your own home. You order the test, they send it to you. You either do a little swab, or you do a pee test, or you do a little drop of blood. Send it back to them. They send you back a beautifully done results page. They'll call you if there's anything major going on. Awesome system from them. All next level new testing on all this stuff too. So the Ulta Lab test is awesome for everything, but for specific stuff, Everly Well is fantastic. Whenever you do find some of these things out and you want to adjust your diet to accommodate all these things, especially if you have food sensitivities, check out Icon Mules. I've been working with them for like 4 years now, okay? Awesome, incredible company. They custom do meals, okay? They custom make it. Chef quality. When I say chef quality, I mean it's fantastically well done, and they'll make it for you for whatever your sensitivities are. They package it, they send it to you twice a week. That way it's always fresh. There's no preservatives. You're getting good stuff. They're bringing organic food next year in 2017, by the way. So definitely, it's a must. You got to check them out. The food prices are nothing. It's $5, $7, and $9. Okay, you can't go out to eat for that, and definitely not for the quality. If you don't want to go out and eat, if you want to cook it yourself, go to Thrive Market. Check them out. It's like going to Whole Foods for half price. Everything's easy to find. You're not having to roam around all over the place through all the stores. anyway, you know it's like going to the store. You got tons of people. You're roaming around. You can't find anything. Their stuff is easy. Point and click. It's all there for you. You punch in that you're paleo. All your paleo options are there. You're vegan. All your vegan options are there. Okay, right there for you. Easy to do. Water, huge thing. I partner with Zero Water. I do contests every time I do a show so you can win some free Zero Water stuff. Okay, take advantage of that because if you didn't know, 75% of the water supply in the U.S. has chromium-6 in it. What's chromium-6? Do you remember the movie Aaron Brockovich? Go back, watch that movie. Okay, that's what that movie was about. This one community had high levels of chromium-6 in it. It was causing high cancer rates. Notice the last two shows were about cancer, and this is about high cancer rates and all kinds of other stuff. Zero Water takes all of it out of the water. How about that? And the chlorine and everything else too. So definitely check them out on the website. You get 10% off through me, by the way. Kinesi, I've got them coming back on. Brand new clothing line, all kinds of cool stuff coming out from them. Speaking of cancer, they got one piece of clothing that's being backed by some cancer experts because of how well it takes toxins out of the system. How about that? Does your clothes take toxins out of your system? I bet it doesn't. Check them out. It's going to be an awesome show coming up with them. ID Life, of course. I had the October surprise. I'm going to do a November surprise, so watch Facebook for that one coming up. Because I want to pass on some extra stuff to everybody out there for that. Believe me, you need it. You absolutely need it. If government can mandate it, they would. All right, that's how great this system is. Of course, last time they mandated something that sucked, didn't it? So they're not going to mandate it. They like to mandate sucky stuff, not good stuff. Anyway, check it out. It's custom made for you, specifically for you. We got over 2.5 million versions of this thing out there. You're one of them. Okay. All pharmaceutical grade. You can't get that over the counter. You can't. Also, all my nonprofits, American Diabetes Association of North Texas, they'll be back on here very shortly. Hunger Stops, 22 Kills, St. Baldrick's. And events coming up November 5th, the Step Out Walk. Be out there. Come out there, walk with us. All the rest of the people from VisioFit will be out there with me. We're going to be doing all the warm-up and cool-down, getting everybody ready for the walk. November 10th, the Feast of Sharing with HEB and Hunger Stops. That's going to be down at Fair Park. Come out, check that out. Help feed a lot of families that need it around DFW, and there are a lot of families that need that around DFW, okay? We're probably going to be feeding around, I think, 30,000, 40,000 families just at that one event. So awesome thing. It's going to be for, of course, for Thanksgiving, so some families can give thanks for having something. The economy is great here, but not for everybody. Okay, last but not least, health in the news. Let's see here. Oh yeah, insulin patches cover the shots. Great new thing that's on the horizon. This is from the American Diabetes Association. There's doctors come up with these little diabetes or insulin patches. You put them on, your body just kind of soaks up insulin as it's needed, so you're not having to do shots throughout the day. It's a great, much more viable option than the artificial pancreases that they're working on right now. At least for right now, anyway. Better diabetic patient protocols are coming very soon to make it less sucky to have to deal with medical staff when you got diabetes. Chromium-6, I talked about that. ACA rates up 25% with only 2 carriers in most places and no PPOs. That means you're stuck with an HMO. You remember that hell? Yeah. Thank you, Obama. Say it with me. And BCBS dropping out, dropping 40-plus drugs, and CVS is a preferred pharmacy. So if you didn't know about that, now you know. Yeah, people have some answers because we got sold a really, really bad bill of goods. So we're going to talk about that here coming back up. You need to listen to this show. Seriously. Whether you have insurance or you don't have insurance, you must listen to this show. Come back, listen in. Mike Chapman's here, and it's going to be fantastic. All right, we are back. Personal Health Care Reform Talk Show on Pegasus NetWaves, taking your health to a higher level. And today, it would normally be the super scary Halloween show. But this could be the super scary next 4 years show if y'all don't go about doing things right. So I brought in Mike Chapman to enlighten everybody about what's going on within the healthcare spectrum because he's been on here several times. You know, he is the ACA expert. He's read the thing multiple times over, knows it forwards and backwards and what all has happened, what we're sold, what what didn't happen with it, what did happen with it, and what potentially could happen. So I told him to bring his crystal ball today and give us some future projections, since we do have this little tiny election going on, which you'd have to be dead not to know about it. Of course, if you're dead, you probably do know about it because somebody's recruited you to vote. Seriously, there's about 2.5 million of those out there, aren't there? Anyway, so Mike, thanks for coming on.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here, Clint. This is a turning point, I think, for everyone, not only Americans, but especially Americans, when it comes to health care. And I've been a student of health care and insurance-related matters for, 20 plus years. This time of year, it's kind of top of mind. It's kind of like my Irish setter when it sees a squirrel. It just kind of takes off. So right now, it's top of mind because it's open enrollment time, it's election time, it's sign up for Obamacare time. A lot of people get laid off this time of year. Tons and tons of health-related issues. Now, this year is the culmination of 8 years of an administration that made its promise to America on the Affordable Care Act as a way to solve the nation's health care problems and making health care available to all. A lot of promises, some of which have been met, many have not. But let's bring it down to square one, and that's how does it impact you? We're seeing today the beginning of the end of the insurance markets for, I would say, over 50 or 60% of Americans. It's going to roll out pretty quickly here. It's going to collapse. There are still some things you can do, which I'll speak about. But you have a situation, if you're in Oklahoma, you're facing an 80% rate increase. We don't quite know as of today, but Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas filed for a 56% rate increase. It's more than just dollars and cents on what you pay for the privilege of care through insurance, because you can pay that much, but you're not necessarily getting care. The number of carriers will shrink by about 80% next year in Texas and in many other states. Overall averages, there will only be about 25% of the country that has more than two carriers. Here in Texas, North Texas will have two. Many other areas in Texas will only have one. So in the matter of choice, you have fewer choices. But in the area of doctors that you can visit, if you're going to an HMO plan, which you will be selecting from in many cases, if you are like 95% of all businesses are sole proprietor or partnership or small business solopreneurs, that's a ton of Americans. The options you have and the alternatives you have are limited, not only in care and the doctors you can see, with rates going up, with being able to see doctors, being able to access prescriptions, pharmacies, hospitals. It can be scary. Now, what that means for you is that it's time to look at alternatives. There are alternatives that are insurance-based. There are alternatives that are health-based. There are alternatives that are faith-based. And I'm going to kind of highlight these in the brief time we have. But I want to talk to you about where you can find more information. That is my website, ObamacareAlternative.com, singular, ObamacareAlternative.com. Also, you can follow me on Facebook at Obamacare Alternative. And it's talking about all these options. Now, insurance came about 200 years ago as a result of guilds from Europe. You may have seen bucolic pictures of of Amish country where farmers would help each other raise the barns when someone's barn burned down from the area of lightning. The same thing would happen when somebody had a health problem. Somebody fell or had an accident or fell ill, as it was called. Your neighbors would come to your aid. That's how insurance got started back in Europe over 150 years ago. Insurance became synonymous with healthcare. It's not. Insurance was a way up until about, I'd say maybe 10 years ago, where risks could be spread among a lot of people to provide for care. But however, during that period of time, health insurance, and even when you listen to our elected officials in Washington and elsewhere, the words health care are confused with insurance. Insurance has become depersonalized. It's no longer a matter of helping your neighbor. It's a matter of a big bad insurance company regulated by government with healthcare and hospitals and everything doctors learn from the time they start going to med school to the time they're practicing. Pharmaceutical industries, durable medical supply companies, everything is regulated by the government. It means tremendous waste. It means tremendous depersonalization. Insurance has become in many people's mind, and in the government's right, it is a right to get insurance. But insurance, when you think about it, it's a way to shirk personal accountability. Insurance is no longer a way that you can expect others to pay for your ills. 60% of our nation's health expenditures, which is a huge, depending upon who you talk to, about 25 to 33% of our gross domestic product as a country is related to health care. Well, 62% of what we spend as a nation is a result of lifestyle choices. So insurance, in a way, has been a way to push off being accountable for your own health. That is no longer an affordable option for many people. As we started off the show talking about cost, the cost of being able to push off our accountability for our own health onto others is going beyond the scope of most Americans, most businesses. It is the single factor why jobs are moving overseas, why businesses aren't hiring, why there is a whole layer of unemployed in this country far beyond what the numbers, the federal numbers suggest. Healthcare is the number one impediment to cost competitiveness in this country. Now, so where am I leading with all this? Well, you have alternatives now to consider. First of all, if you have significant healthcare issues, you're going to be looking at rationed access to doctors and hospitals, and you're going to be looking at paying a lot more. Okay? What can you do about it? Well, you can expect the government to subsidize that, or you can look at other options. What can you do as an individual to make yourself healthier? What can you do now to make sure that you're healthier 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road? There's a ton you can do. A little bit of change in your lifestyle today can have massive implications for the quality of life, your mental acuity, your amount of pain and suffering you will have either today or when you're a decade or 2 decades or 3 decades old. Don't expect insurance to be available that is affordable, nor to allow you access to the kind of health care that you have been accustomed to. It's going to continue to be regulated. It's going to continue to be taxed. It's going to continue to go up in cost until more of us make a change in our own behavior. Now, I'm going to talk about the individual options, which are strategies, if you will, as well as tactics at ObamacareAlternative.com. It's going to cover everything from Medicaid to what I talked about in terms of making yourself healthy, what's available at healthcare.gov, or if you're in the states that have state exchanges, what's available through state exchanges. It's going to talk about every type of insurance and non-insurance option that's available. Many of these are going to be new to you because we've all been expecting our employer or an individual health plan to cover the cost of our health care. Well, guess what? It ain't going to happen anymore unless you're willing to pay out the nose, which you may be willing to do if you have the money, or you have severe, life-threatening, expensive conditions that need treatment where other options won't cover them. So I suggest giving this some thought, seeing what you can do to shop around, yeah, sure. See what's available, yeah, sure. But most importantly, look inward to what you can do to make changes in your life that will have a lasting impact on your life and those around you. You can't force other people to make changes in their behavior, but you can sure be an example and lead the kind of life, and people take notice of that. People will make changes when they feel that they have a reason to make change. But you can lead the way. Yep. That's the only way we can make changes in our country, or have a hope of balancing the budget, or being able to pay down debt, improve our military, rebuild our infrastructure, and make America great again, is through making changes one at a time in our personal behavior and our lifestyles as a nation.
Speaking of which, last time you were on here, of course it was tax time, so we made the great joke about I'm going in for colonoscopy, just like everybody else right now. So you started making some big changes in your own health, back in April. So you just posted a picture on Facebook with you and some old shorts, and of course you got them held out. So do you want to tell everybody a little bit about what you're doing, since you're walking the walk now?
Yeah, it's you always see these. I don't want to use religious people or political people, but you always see these people that talk a good game but don't walk it. And so I made some changes, knowing that the insurance paying for health care was going to change, and at my point in life, wanting to make some changes so I can be around and be an example for people. I took up a regimen earlier this year, changed my diet, changed my exercise. I've lost 40 pounds so far. I've got about another 15 to go. I've added muscle mass on top of that, so it's not just a severe weight. It really wasn't a weight change. It was a diet change that enabled me to, in combination with exercise, really beef up. I've extended my expected life expectancy from 74, which is about a dozen years away at this point, to 94, just by making some changes that occurred over the course of a few months. So anybody can do it. If a 62-year-old fat ass can do it, beep. So I know that's going to get edited out.
This is internet. We don't edit.
You can do it. So it's possible. Link to me at on Facebook at Obamacare Alternative, or go to the website if you're interested in learning more about the alternatives. I'll be happy to share with anybody that wants to listen how I did it, or because I feel better, have more pep than I've had even probably in my 30s. So life is good, and I look to being a servant and being a leader for people for a long time in this field.
Yeah, very good. And I just wanted to sit back and just let him go today, because it is a big, huge issue. That's it's either going to get a whole lot worse or less worse. Of course, most of that comes down to everybody out there and what you do on a daily basis, as far as what you eat. Making sure that you're eating fresh organic foods, not the GMO stuff. Believe me, I could go on for hours about the GMO foods and how they affect us genetically each generation. But so you got that. You got needed nutrients that must go in. You got to stay hydrated with good water. You have to exercise, because if you don't move, once again, if it's a whole use it or lose it thing, which is if you don't use it, if you're not out, you're not moving around, you're not at least going out and doing some dancing or something. I don't care what, at this point, I don't care what you go do something for about 30, 40 minutes a day, or up to whatever you can handle, and then, work towards 30 to 40 minutes a day. Do that. It's going to make a huge, huge impact on you and your life and your lifestyle. So even if you do only live to being 74, it's going to be a very, very good life instead of a really sucky life stuck in a bed someplace, taking tons of medications and wasting thousands of your dollars and everybody else's dollars. In fact, hundreds of thousands. So you talked about the cost right now is around 30% of gross domestic product, GDP. That's huge, okay? Especially when we realize we have over $19 trillion in debt, okay? And our GDP is right about at that amount. So a third of that is being wasted, essentially, to non-needed things because people don't take care of themselves. So everybody out there, take care of yourself. Mike, do you have anything else to add? Because I know you got your healthcare badass program that you're working on, so we can.
Yeah, just remember to take action. The worst thing you can do is expect other people or an insurance policy to take care of you. But shop around. Follow me at Obamacare Alternative. I'll be happy to explain all the options. Reach out to me. I've been doing it for a while, so if you try to do it yourself, you waste a lot of time. I can help businesses improve the lives and health of their employees and productivity. I can do the same for individuals. Thanks, Clint.
All right. Thanks for coming on. For everybody else out there, if you want to improve your health, go to ClintFuquay.com. Do the 4 steps to better health on there, okay? I put them on there to make it very simple and easy. 3 of those are free, by the way. The last option you got to pay for because that's working with me. And by the way, I'm giving out some major, major discounts on that for the rest of this year because I want to help everybody get healthy because, well, you've seen the prices out there. I want to help out. So do that. Have a great day. Get out and vote, okay? Hopefully you know why you're voting and what you're voting for, and you're not just voting for, for idiocy. Anyway, so there's reasons. There are a lot of reasons to not vote. Okay, we'll put it that way. Anyway, so learn about everything as much as you can. Watch the Project Veritas videos, by the way. If you haven't, check those out, and the WikiLeaks. Okay, seriously, be informed before you go vote. Know what's going on. Take care of yourself. See you here for the next show.